Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's lecture. In this lecture, we're going to talk about how new media has been utilized in sports marketing. As we talk about new media, I think a lot of students will think about we're going to talk about social media. Yes, social media is actually very, very big topics in the new media, I would say digital media in sports marketings. But in addition to the social media, we also have a lot of different other types of the new media has been utilized in sports marketing. So one of the example is search marketing. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the search marketing. Search marketing talk about when we are search the keyword of this organization, that we are able to identify the information associated with this organization immediately. So for instance, we know Google is the most popular search engine in the world. The majority of the markets in the world. So Google is the biggest, the most popular search engine. So basically, if we want to buy something from Miami Lighthouse, so we type Miami Lighthouse, the first one or two sites should be the official website of the Miami Lighthouse, and then they can direct us to the right direction. So that means this search marketing strategy is very effective because it really help people can identify their things immediately through search engine. That's a search marketing. So in addition to the search marketing, today we're also going to talk about email marketing, which is also very interesting. And of course, social media marketing is the big topic for today. And also we're going to touch base a little bit about the team website. It's also another very good marketing platforms. Speaking of the new media, I would say digital media, sometimes people call Web 2.0. All right. So what made Web 2.0 unique compared to Web 1.0? Right. So how many new media difference compared to the traditional media? Right. So new media, the definition is a merging of the traditional media forms with interactive digital technologies and individual customer focus. So from this definition, we indicate the new media, what made them unique is it can enhance interactivities, and also you can personalize these messages instead of just like sending out a messenger to the broader audiences. So new media that we are able to personalize this messenger and content and send to the particular customers. So this is a very different compared to traditional media. Well, let's look at the differences between traditional media. So traditional media, we talk about televisions, talk about radios, we talk about newspapers, talk about magazines, right? So those are traditional media. So for traditional media, normally there's a one-way communication, right? We turn on a TV, we watch all the content being broadcasted by the televisions. So a traditional media, they have a very popular theory to develop this kind of interaction. We say these are one-way interactions, right? So a lot of traditional media, they have agenda settings. So what's agenda setting is like they basically develop the program. They say, hey, today 24 hours, you'll be able to watch the news at 6 o'clock tonight, and you'll be able to watch some TV series at 7, you will watch some sports at 8 o'clock. So basically they develop schedule and you follow their schedules as audience to watch the content they provided to you. So as audience, you don't have the power to decide what you really want to watch. For instance, if I want to watch sports at 6, for traditional media, it's not possible, right? When you listen to the radio, it's the same, right? I can only listen to what content they deliver to us. We don't have the option to choose what we want to listen to, right? So that is the unique feature for the traditional media. But new media, also digital media, are different. So new media can be classified into Web 1.0 and Web 2.0. So Web 1.0 are those websites, right? Those websites, again, is another way for them to disseminate the information to the broader audiences. What Web 2.0 are more likely to indicate the interactivities. They try to target each individual customer. So instead of just sending out a messenger to target broader audiences, target every single person's, we try to personalize this messenger and try to target a particular customer. So they emphasize the interactivity. So for instance, you follow your friends on social media. Right, you'll be able to have private conversation, you'll be able to talk to each other, right? You follow your favorite athletes on social media, right? You'll be able to consume the product they provide to you exclusively, because you won't have this opportunity to interact with them on the traditional media platform, right? So those are the big differences between new media, traditional media, and the Web 1.0 or Web 2.0. So Web 2.0 is where we are living right now. We emphasize more about interactivity and try to target each of the individual customers can make this messenger personalized. In either marketing or in other fields, technology is very important, right? The advancement of technology really changes the way we consume the products, really change the way we do the business. So that is a very interesting theories in sports marketing. That's something to do with whether customers are going to adapt this new technology. So this is the theory is called technology acceptance. So this theory is basically try to examine in what scenario the customers are more likely to adapt the technologies. So they find out there are multiple different factors that will impact the customer's acceptance of the new technologies. So the first main factor is perceived usefulness. So basically is to look at whether the new technology is really useful for me. So if I think this technology is really useful, can really enhance the my experiences, can really help me to achieve my goal quicker, so I'm more likely to use these new technologies. The second factors that will contribute to the technology acceptance is perceived ease of use. So for these factors, basically to examine whether you think this technology is very easy for people to use or not. Of course, there are a lot of other factors that will impact whether people would like to adapt technologies or not, right? The first of all, I think people will think about is age, right? For the elder people, maybe it's harder for them to adapt technology because they've been get used to with the old technology for a very long period of time. It will be very difficult for them to use a new technology to change what they're actually using right now. And in terms of gender, a study show male will be more likely to adapt new technology compared to female. Well, that's just what study shows, right? So that's kind of give you some example what factors that might impact how the technology, particularly the new technologies, can be adapted by the customers. So there are a lot of different digital media examples in the sports marketing. So we start with the first interesting example, which is email marketing. So what is email marketing? So I think we all receive these kind of like emails on a daily basis, as long as we subscribe to become a members of a particular website. So they will be keep sending us emails. So to promote their product, try to persuade us to buy their products, right? So this is email marketing, right? So the email marketing to allow the customers and industry specific content to be delivered to our target audiences, right? The purpose for using the email marketing, that including those four, on one hand, it can really enhance existing customers' loyalties, right? When you become the members of the particular organization, you set up accounts, so they keep sending you the newsletter, and they can really enhance your loyalty to let you try to remind you, right, that you are still the members of this organization, or you are subscribing to these websites. Please check out the newest promotions, and you might be able to find out something you like. Right. At the same time, they can also help you get some new customers. I think you all have the experience. You go to the retailers to buy something, and the buy clothes, for instance. They always ask you, do you want to set up for our memberships? Set up our membership, you can get 20% discount these times, and blah, 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 blah. Right, the goal is not just giving you the benefit. The goal for the marketer is they want to obey information about from you. They want to know about your email address. They want to know a little bit more about you, and they could have a profile information in their systems, which can help them develop more focus the the marketing strategies. So in their database, they'll be able to find out your profile information like demographic information, ages, incomes, locations, and also they are able to identify your previous purchase history, right? You bought this thing before, you bought those things before, which might shows you might want to get these things as well. So they will recommend those things to you, try to make sure whether those things help you in some way in your life. So this is also a new approach for people to adapt the these new customers. At the same time, for all this email marketing, we try to deliver value-added advertising. So all these email we receive a lot of time is about promotion, right? Let you know, hey, we have discount, the deadline is what time. There's something interesting happens in the organization. I just want to let you know. You possibly also want to know as well, right? So they can keep customers informed and engaged, which also enhance the intimacy between customers and the sports organization. But those are the purpose why the business want to use the email marketing. So what are the benefits? There are a lot of different benefits. One of the biggest benefit is they can personalize messages. We talk about general marketing commercial we watch on televisions. Basically, the message they disseminate on the commercial is try to target every single person's. Whether you're gonna go watch Coca-Cola's commercial or you watch some other commercials, basically they target everyone. They're not being specifically target you. But email marketing is different. They're able to target you, right? A lot of time in email marketing, they'll be able to call your names. They can really close the relationship between customer and the marketers and the organizations, right? So they can personalize messages. And also they can drive better conversations. A lot of time, you might looking for the opportunity to interact with sports organization, but you don't have the platform or channel, but email marketing give you the chance to say, hey, if you do really want to interact with us, this is the way how you be able to interact. So a lot of time, we know one organization just introduced a new product in the markets, but we don't know too much about the products. We don't have the chance to know more about the detail of this product. So email marketing is a good way that they can send you a little bit more information about it, right? So they can help you promote it. And the third thing is the automobile delivery and create some workflows. So it's very easy and convenient, low cost. The very important thing is you do need to have a very good database. You need to make sure the customer who are receiving these informations are the one that you really want to target. So a lot of time, organization, they gather customers' emails. They normally classify them to different groups. So this group will be more interesting in these things. This group will be more interesting in that thing. So that can really help enhance the effectiveness of email marketing. And also, I think one of the most important for the email marketing that's so popular among sports marketers is they can measure the performance or effectiveness. We talk about marketing. One of the things we always emphasize is return on investment. So I have already invested this money to promote our products. I want to know how effective the strategy that we use, right? So email marketing really can help you solve the problem. So when you send out someone's email, so a lot of time email system nowadays are able to let you know how many people open that email, right? How many people click this link that we have included in their emails, right? So how many people successfully receive these emails, right? And how many people share this information on their social media. So they're able to find out these informations. So one of the interesting research, they found email marketing somehow is the most effective return on investments digital media marketing strategies. So they say they survey all the marketers, and about 21% of the marketer across all different industry, they mention email deliver the highest return on investment. So make it a leaders in the online marketing spaces. Right. So another study also shows they say every dollar you invested on the email marketing, normally you can generate $44 return on investments. So very chill, low cost, effective. So that's why email marketing is extremely popular. Since it's so popular and so effective in the marketing, so what are the most effective email campaign strategies should we be aware of? Right. So the first things is we need to set the goal. When we set out every emails, we don't want to send an email to customer every single day, right? That could be a very annoying. They may go to the junk box. Customers are very unlikely to read all those emails information. So make sure you set up a goal. So what kind of information do you expect these people to receive? Right, so that's the first thing. The second thing, you need to understand about your audiences, right? You understand who you're trying to target, who will be receiving these emails, how likely would they respond to your emails, right? So what are the useful strategies? The first one is we try to stress the values, indicate why this email is important, why you need to open this email and obey. Look at this information so we include inside. The second thing is we try to create a appealing subject, right? Creating a appealing subject can really help the people to open that emails and look at more information inside. And the content-wise, when we try to create a email, we try to brief on each topic with the link to more information. So which means we are not going to give people a long emails with a lot of words and information. So a lot of time people would prefer using pictures. We say a picture normally represents 1,000 words, right? Having a pictures, having a brief subjects, and then click share the link can really help you. Why this is helpful is because when you share the link, they can really help customers obtain more information about this message you try to disseminate. That's one thing. Second thing is also can increase, you can really drive the traffic of your website, right? So that is very good, right? Because the purpose for you to have the website is you would like customers to obtain information from here, to buy products from here. So the traffic is very important. How can you get the traffic, right? Email marketing is a good way for you to get traffic. So I'll give you a quick examples here. So here is a screenshot of one of my email account. See all these email marketing that's sent to my email box. So every day I have been receiving this a lot. Right, I guess you also have the same feeling. Everyone using email very differently. Some people prefer having hundreds and thousands of unread emails over there. So for me, I just don't like have any of these unread emails there. So I try to read every single email. Or some of the email, when I look at the title, I'm not interested, and look at who sent out this email. If I'm not interested, I just delete them right away. I try to prefer not to have any of the unresponded emails in my email box. Everyone's different. I've seen my friends have like tens of thousands unread email. I don't know how he's able to manage those unread email, but for me, I think it's just how I do as a customer. So when we look at these emails, those all different either newsletters or either promotions, what would be the best subjects and what would be the worst subjects from your point of view? So the worst subjects, I think, will be, I think you all agree with me, is like Gap Factory. They say, guess what? What you trying to send out, right? Guess what? I don't even want to know, right? Another one here is great sales. Also, what, right? I don't know even what you're trying to send here. So a lot of time I'm going to delete this right away, right? What would be the best one? Best one, some people would say, it's the last call for this week's deal, blah, 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 as what, right? They give you the price, let you know when the deadline for these special deals and what kind of product they're selling, right? Brief information, but they give you a lot of interesting things, right? And also, Get Factories also send out something good as well, like hours left 50 75% off everything. So it also gives you all idea what this messenger is about, right? So when you send out a great email, first thing is you need to have a very appealing title. Make sure the appealing title disseminates some useful information, not just guess what. I don't want to guess, right? So this is email marketing strategy. So when we send out the entire email, we don't, as we mentioned previously, we don't want to give you a long paragraph, lot of things to read. So we try to use a lot of pictures inside, right? This is actually very, very good examples here. This is Team USA shops. They send me an email with all this promotion they have, right? From this email, very clear they're trying to promote these 4 products, right? They have pictures here, right? 4 types of products. And so if I'm interested, I'm going to click on the link, which help the website increase their traffic of their official websites. Right, and also customers are also more likely to click on the link when they look at things like that, because they only have like maybe 5 seconds to look at everything here and these emails. If they can't get this information they want, they're more likely to close and delete these emails, right? So I think this is a very effective email strategies. They can attract customer to find out more information. And you have also received a lot of this kind of emails. So from your perception, what will be the most effective email marketing strategy from your experiences? And I would like to hear your feedback. If you have any of them, you can let me know, send me an email, let me know about it. Okay, those are strategy how we send out a good email marketing campaign. And the last thing we're going to talk about email marketing is timing. So when is the best time for us to send out an email, which is also means when is the best time for the customer to read this email. Okay, so it should be Tuesday or Friday. And a lot of people say we send out this information on Monday, right? Studies show send out information on Monday are not very effective because we just have most of people just have weekend, either your students or your employees. You just have the weekends. When you start working on Monday morning, normally you have a lot of unread email that you have to deal with, right? So a lot of time you will have to go and respond this unread email that sent out to you over the weekend. So they don't have a lot of time to really read those promotional emails. When you start new weeks, you just want to deal with the most important thing in your work first, right? So Monday morning sometimes is not a good time to send out the information. And Friday afternoon, which is also not a good time to send out this information because people are waiting for the weekend. They really don't have time to read these things, right? So study shows Tuesday is actually the best time to send out this information because people just start finding their rhythms in work. They start to very energetic on Tuesday. They have a little bit more free time compared to Monday, so they're more likely to open the emails on Tuesday from marketers. And how about morning and the afternoons? So when will be the best time to send out your email campaigns? The studies show morning is actually the best time to send out this email campaign. They did a survey among all these customers. They find out 44% of the people they indicate the best time for them to receive open these promotions is between 8 a.m. and noons. After noons, they may have a lot of things they have to work on in the afternoon, so they might not have time to look at this email campaign. So that gives you the idea when we're going to send out these email campaigns, right? Okay, so this is about email marketings. The second topic is about social media marketing. I believe a lot of students are very familiar with these topics, right? I guess a lot of class talk about social medias. So what is a social media? So social media is encompass all the interaction between people online, all the way they participate in share information, knowledge, and opinion while using web-based application to communicate. Right? Compared to traditional media, social media facilitate two-way communication, right? We say traditional media normally facilitate parasocial interaction, just one-way interactions, right? Social media really facilitate more than one-way interactions. They have two ways interactions, right? Parasocial interaction, when I give example in the traditional media, is when you listen to a radio program. So for instance, you like pop music, right? So Ryan Seacrest has a radio shows on iHeartRadio Monday to Fridays for about 3-4 hours, right? So if you really like Ryan Seacrest and also like pop music, you passively listen to this radio channel all the time. So one way parasocial interaction is talking about you as a customer, you think you know Ryan Seacrest really well because you listen to his program every single day and listen to a lot of pop music he broadcasts on their platform, right? That's a create parasocial interactions. But Ryan Seacrest has no idea who you are as the customers and whether you're listening to his programs or not. He has no idea. So traditional media cannot really facilitate two-way communication, but social media is different, right? If you really like one athlete, you like LeBron James, you could just follow him on social media. You can see all the information he's sharing on their social media. And LeBron James also know that you are following him, right? How many millions followers? I know you are one of them, right? So they create some kind of like a two-way communication. So sometimes if you have something you add LeBron James maybe give you a like or give you a retweet or maybe reply a messages, right? That create both-way communications. So social media able to facilitate this two-way communication, but traditional media are unable to make that happen. So social media has been broadly utilized by either sports teams, professional sports league, college sports, and the sports organization, and also been broadly utilized by the athlete. So the purpose for people using social media in the sports industry is there are three main purposes. First one is they try to build audiences. Second thing is to try to engage fans. Third one is they try to drive behavior and that can drive the business. So let's look at these three purposes one by one. We start with how social media can build our audiences, right? This is sports organization. They promote social media activities in their events. How could social media be utilized by marketer to build the audiences? There are 4 different ways. One is in games and in events. So I'll give example. During the games, if you go and watch Brass games, right? They have a lot of like interactive activity during the games. Maybe sometimes they want you to look at the big screen and they ask you guess a question and using social media to interact with them. Or you can ask you to share a very important moment. So this like sharing contents, this is task marketing. So it's like they say, hey, please use this hashtag to share a picture of you attending these games and you'll be able to see yourself on this big screen. So this is how they build audiences. Like people would like to share this their pictures by using the hashtag because they hope they can see themselves on the big screens, particularly when you go with your friends, right? That's kind of exciting moments, right? Just like traditional media, we have the camera shot, like they try to catch particular fans when they're watching the games, right? So they also mention about this during the broadcaster, right? They keep let you know during the game. They say, hey, please follow us on social media, blah, 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 blah. You'll be able to get what, blah, 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 blah informations, right? Right, so that is very interesting. And the third thing they normally would like to do is they can promote themselves in their stadiums through traditional advertising. There are two examples from here. Boston Curtain was the first NBA team that placed their Twitter handles on the playing court next to their website address, so that people are able to know what they're doing. Right, at Mississippi State University, the Horry State hashtag has also been painted in the end zone of the football venue. So just this example how they are able to build audiences. That's the first goal. Second goal is they try to engage with fans. We talk about compared to traditional media. Social media facilitate two-way communications, right? They give athletes the opportunity to talk to the fan directly, give fans directly to interact with their favorite athletes. So they create these two-way communications, right? How are they able to engage with these fans? Because all these athletes, if they're well known enough, a lot of time their social media account can be verified, either on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram can be verified. People know who's actually using this person is the athlete themselves. Some scenario, those well-known athletes are not using social media by themselves. Their team is mainly responsible for managing their social media account. Just try to prevent them from misusing the social media platform. But people believe everything they say on their social media platforms, right? So they can enhance the sanity of the voices. Right. Other strategies include listening, learning, and delivering. A lot of times, we are able to share with people about some of the very interesting stories, and also we can organize some activities. Right. For instance, Lakers Digital. They ask you to join the Lakers Social Night, and they would like to give away some free gift. This is one way they are able to engage with the fans, right? And also like this Golden State Warriors, this is actually kind of interesting tweet, because these tweets only have 3 funny emoji. This is just let fans feel like they have a more close relationship with the organizations, right, compared to their experience interact with them before. Right, so this is the second purpose, is to engaging fans. And the third one will be driving behaviors. Driving behaviors is indicate that we are able to use social media to also increase our business activities. So they say effectiveness social media marketing should also encourage followers to engage in the behavior aligned with the organizational strategic objective, right? So a lot of time when we're using social media, sports organizations always like to do is they try to sell tickets here. So one of the examples here is Atlanta Hawks. They say, we just made a limit numbers of the game 2 ticket available for $45. Get them exclusively on Twitter. Great way to sell tickets. A lot of time, they will share the link on their social media platform, give you the chance to click on the link, get access to the media, to their team website, which can also help them increase the traffic of the website. So it's kind of like win-win, share you more information by using social media, driving them behaviors, right? Or you just introduce a new like a merchandise product that you want fans to know about it. Not all the fans are using their apps, not all the fans are using their team website. So go to social media. By using social media to share this information can really help them. And also a very important thing I think a lot of people know is the how the team sports property are able to incorporate with the sponsor, try to promote these particular partnerships. For a lot of sponsors, a lot of time they sponsor the events or they sponsor particular teams, but they find out hard to really build up this connection. But social media can really facilitate these partnerships promotions. So like both account may have some sort of interaction. Both account can organize some kind of activities, allow fans to go and follow the team's account, and also able to win the prize provided by sponsor. That's actually a very good way to promote this partnership between the two organizations, and also can help the sponsors realize the effectiveness of their sponsorship can really, we say, mentioned previously, increase their returns on investments. Right. So there are tons of the social media nowadays, right? I believe you have definitely more than one social media account on your smartphone. So we have what kind of like social media nowadays. Depends on how you're gonna define social media. If based on your based on the broader the definition, we say social media include all the different types. You have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. So those are mainstream, right? And also nowadays, TikTok. I know you guys like using TikToks, right? And other related social media platform like Amazon is also a social media platform too, because you're able to share your opinions when you're buying these products, right? This also indicate what interactivities on their platform. So YouTube is also a good one, right? You'll be able to watch out the video posts by other people. You can also create your own account and post the videos there to promote yourself, right? So those are tons of different social media platforms nowadays available in the market. So for the sports marketer, one of the very important thing for them to do is they need to know about what may these social media uniques and how effective that can we use this social media. We'll talk about Facebook first. I mean, I don't know whether you guys still using Facebook, but I've heard like young people stop using Facebook because their parents there, so they don't want to have that many interaction with their parents on that social media, particularly Facebook, right? That is something that we heard. But Facebook, no matter what, they really change how we interact with each other. Facebook is the first ever social media platforms existing in the world, currently still the most popular one in terms of the active users, daily active users, and total users. Facebook is still the most popular one. Speaking of Facebook, the first time I used Facebook, back to 2005, I believe. Facebook was created in 2004. All of you know Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook in 2004 when he was still a student at Harvard. So he and his friends create this social media platform. At the beginning, they only students at universities able to create a Facebook account. So, and also it's not like you say I can go, not like today. So I go to Facebook, I create accounts, I put my emails there, and I'm able to create an account. It's not like this. It's like you need to get an invitation from someone else, and then you can create this account. And at the beginning, they only open to the university students, so you need to have the email address, DM with the edu, and then you can have your social media account. So I have my account in 2006 when I was studying my second master degrees in Australia. I think at that time a lot of my classmates started using social media. So they say, hey, you should use this one, Facebook, fun, we can do things, check over there. So I said, okay, we see how that experience is like. So I created my social media account after he sent me the invite. So I was able to open that account. So when you look at this promotion strategy, is kind of interesting. They remind me about Google's Gmail, right? So when Gmail was created, it's not everyone you'll be able to open a Gmail, create a Gmail account. You need to also get an invite for the people who have the Gmail account. So that really made you feel like you're special because not everyone are capable to create an account. So your account owner, you're able to invite other people, to create an account. So they made this feeling become very special, and also really effective strategy to help them to generate more users in a very short period of time, because people have that feeling of the prestigious in these experiences. So Facebook, we talk about unlike other social media platforms, but like you guys possibly not gonna check in Facebook on daily basis, but like people are 40 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old, so since they started adopt Facebook earlier, so they are more likely to check Facebook more frequent than younger generation like you guys, because you have so many different types of social media platform, right? So for you, if you are using Facebook, what strategy would you use? Do you think of? So if I'm the one, I'm the marketers, I'm using Facebook. So I possibly send out one messenger a day, or maybe 3, 4 messages a day. Oh, sorry, 3, 4 messenger a week. So not very frequent, because we talk about these active users. As long as you use the Facebook, they're not checking the Facebook like 10 times a day. Okay, they possibly check it once a day, stay there for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, see who's having birthday. I'm gonna send out a birthday wish. So how am I using Facebook? So every time I click on it, I say, oh, 3 of my friends having birthday, so I'm gonna send out a birthday message, see who's actually leave some interesting comments. So who send out some interesting things, I respond, I like, respond, retweet. Facebook called share, right? Reshare, share these messages, and this is how I use. I think a lot of people are using it in the same way. So having that information once a day is enough, because people are not checking it very often. And for that messages, Facebook is nowadays different. So you'll be able to not just sharing the messenger, but also sharing the picture and also sharing videos. So having a video and pictures together really made the Facebook content more information, more entertaining to the users. So that's the better way to use Facebook. Okay, this is about Facebook. So the second popular social media platform is Twitter, founded in 2007, right? So Twitter's strategy, of course, Twitter has been changing all the time. In the past, you can only send out 140 characters per tweet. Now they doubled. Now I think those few years ago, they doubled it to 280 characters. So at the beginning, Twitter was just like, we try to compare Twitter with Block, right? Block, you can send out very long things. I think some people might still remember MySpace was the most popular blog at that time, many 15 years ago, when you guys were still very young. But maybe some students are still using MySpace right now, but that was the most popular blog at that time. So Twitter, they create this messenger, make it different is they try to make it mini blog, short messages, short informations, right? Because we don't have that much time to send out a long information. We're living informations areas where we have so many things that we have to do. So so for the Twitter, obviously, for the content wise, so we try to send out a short information instead of send out a whole story. A lot of time, sports organization using it is like, when I try to share a story, I just give you brief descriptions, share a link, then you'll be able to click on the link to get more information if you're interested. If you don't interested, that's enough, right? You get that information, that's enough, right? So this is a Twitter strategy. So Twitter strategy, another way people always like to use Twitter, particularly sports organization, or they would like to use Twitter to live stream the games, right? Not all the fans are able to follow the games. Maybe they're driving, they're doing something else, right? So being able to live the games, provide more update informations, so they can help these people obey the newest information, right? So that's the second thing. Do you think Twitter would be a good way to real life friends and connect with strangers? Compared to Facebook, Facebook is more for like real life friends. I think you should know, I think majority of the people Facebook, at least 60, 70%. For me, I possibly know 80% of my friends on Facebook. Another 20%, I don't know how we became friends. Maybe they send out me the invite, I accidentally accept the invite. All right, so a lot of times they're your real life friends. When you have your real life friends on that network, you can share more private things over there, right? You can talk more about, show more real you there. Twitter is different. You connect with strangers. Most of the people who follow you don't know them, right? My Twitter, I don't know how many people follow me, less than 1,000, about 600, 700. I think I possibly know 100 of them. Will be great. Maybe 200, 100. Most of the people I don't know. I just somehow receive people follow me, so I just follow them back. Right. So connect with strangers. So I need to be really careful since we're using the Twitter, right? So because a lot of strangers are there, right? So and also one of the characteristics for the Twitter is they have a peak engagement time. So when you send out a tweet, the effectiveness tweet could be last for a very short period of time, right? So a lot of time they say if you really want this messenger to be obeyed by the other, to be able to seen by the other, you need to send out the messenger multiple times at different time frame. The study showed the most effective time for you to send out the tweet is from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. They said the Twitter engagement goes up by 30% during these times. So it's actually a very interesting things for you to know. So when would be the best time for people to read these informations, right? So people check Twitter obviously more often than Facebook. You probably check Twitter multiple times a day, right? So having a more repeatedly information is important if you want this information to become effectiveness. I give you example. When I was doing my dissertation, that was back to 2015 and 2016, I was collaborating with Lakers because I study about why people follow Lakers on Twitter. Because you're real Lakers fans, or you want to get more information there, or just because you're for entertainment, or because you support Kobe brands, or just some other reasons. Right. So Laker helped me send out my surveys on their social media platforms. Think about Laker has a 6 million people following at that time. I'm not sure about how many followers Laker has right now. So he sent out that tweet at possibly 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. I think West Coast time. So the survey has been read by nearly 5,000 people, and about 400 people, 500 people respond to the survey. Think about he has 6 million followers, and Lakers followers, unlike other accounts, right? It's sports teams followers. If you follow the team, you really care about all this information they've been posting, right? They can only only 5,000 people actually read that information, and 500 people really complete that survey. And also I look at the time they complete the survey. You find out when Lakers sent out his tweet at that 1 hour, most of the people seen that tweet 1 hour, and they start to click on the link and complete the survey. And then the second hour still got some, but the third hour is basically no one's seen this information anymore, right? So, and after the 1 hours, people are just randomly just find out this information and complete that survey. So you find out the most effective time is just that 1 hour. So they have a paid engagement time. If you really want to engage your fans, you have to go and identify when your fans will be more likely to look at your accounts, and then you people send out that information. So that's a Twitter strategy, different from Facebook, right? Facebook, you can send out a messenger, they can be last for a very long period of time. And Snapchat in sport, in the past, Snapchat's pretty popular. I don't know why in the last 2 years, the popularity of Snapchat has been down, and the new users, the number of new users has been down as well. So Snapchat also try to work collaboratively with these sports organizations. what makes Snapchat unique compared to Twitter and Facebook is that Snapchat, they give you a short story. They basically try to let you know what things happen at the moments and what things are more casuals. So I find a lot of students using Snapchat like a test messengers. A lot of people test each other. So for instance, I take a selfie of myself and send it to my friends, very private, right? Because no other people are able to see it. So this is how customers using Snapchats, right? So also close friends, or somehow you find out your friends on Snapchat, you just send out a messages information with the pictures, and or sometimes short story. So for the Snapchat, a lot of sports organizations start using it. For instance, MFL using Snapchat, and Discover platform, they collaborate with them. So every MFL games, they're able to share some stories. For the NBA, I think it started from 2014. They work with Snapchats on 12 stories games. So NHL, they also have like 3 story games they share on their Snapchat platform. So those are the strategy that professional sports organization using with the Snapchat. When the Snapchat was being introduced, a lot of other social medias also do something similar, like story function. You find out a lot of social media using story functions. Snapchat story functions, Instagram story functions. Instagram story functions really popular, made the these initially photo sharing platforms become more popular right now than before, a lot popular than before. The users number has been increased significantly. Right, you find out Facebook also have story functions. Most recently, I found out even professional network linking has story function as well. You find out all the social media has story function. But story function is really personal, right? You be able to share a lot of different part of your life with people, and also Instagram story in particular, fans are able to interact with these athletes, right? Athlete, when they receive a message from fans, they're able to share that on a platform, can really enhance these great connections, enhance this relationship between athletes and fans. One of the most recent popular platform, I believe a lot of young kids like using it, is TikTok. So have you think about the differences between TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat? These platforms are so popular among youngsters. What are the difference in terms of the communication way and the contents? I found out there's a very interesting things. That's a one very interesting analysis recently. They say what made TikTok so popular is because they're talent based. Most of the popular platform, the contents in TikToks are those created by these internet influencers or social media, social network influencers. Right? They create something funny and other people duplicate that and they make it super popular. People feel like it's very entertaining, right? So Instagram, however, is more like static basis. So what situation you'll be using Instagram, you share your pictures, share your story, share your moments, letting people to know what you're doing, right? So more likely to be like share your day, share your interesting moment with your followers. Snapchat is more about self expressions, right? So what's the best content you would like to use Snapchat is you try to communicate with your friends. We talked about previously people using Snapchat, like how they use the text messages, right? I send you a text, funny things, funny face, right? They try to increase the relationship between friends, right? So those are the different things, differentiate the 3 platforms. How would that impact the time, right? So for the time wise, TikTok, people spend a lot longer time watching things on TikTok because those are entertaining, right? Make you relax. You want to spend more time on it, right? Instagram, you can share your moment, you can chat people's moment, right? But you will spend less time on Instagram compared to TikToks, At Snapchat, you possibly spend even less times, right? So this is how the products, how the three platforms try to compare with each other in terms of the content they produce, and how would that impact the frequency and accessibilities, where people will spend more time on TikToks, and slightly less time on Instagram and less time on Snapchat. That will based on the content they share on their platforms. So those are different social media that we're using today. So when we're using social media, we also try to avoid something is we use social media improperly. Can really hurt the image of these athlete or sports organization. Give you a couple examples here. Tom Hawk, who is a skateboarder. So one time he shared a photo of him and his daughter skating together on the half pipe without wearing the helmets and any types of protective gear, posting on the Instagram, which we see a lot of criticism because as a role models like him, so he need to let people to know when we participate in these extreme sports, we need to learn how to protect ourselves, particularly have the young people's with him, right? Another example is Ryan Lochte. American swimmers winning the 6 Olympic gold medals. So he posts a picture of him, got the injections of vitamins in 2008. So what this picture was actually validate the anti-doping rule that was introduced by the USA Olympic Committee. So basically they say athletes, you cannot share these injection pictures or doping pictures. Like when you participate in doping tests, you can't share this information on the social media platforms. So he violated the rule. He got suspended from for about, I think, 18 months because of these pictures, right? So that tell people a story. You have to use social media properly, right? Now examples, Johnny Manziel, when he was a football player at Texas A&M, so he sent out these about he doesn't really want to attend the lectures at colleges, which is also a bad example for people using social media. We're in the global pandemic right now. Social media also play pretty important roles during the COVID-19. So athletes are trying to do something different. So one of the interesting example, I think, when the global pandemic started back to March, more and more professional sports leagues decided to stop at that moment. Professional athletes, they try to use different way to show how they care about general public and try to disseminate the messenger. Two perfect example. One example, possibly a lot of people participate, is a toilet roll keep challenges, right? Even Leo Messi participated. So basically you have a toilet roll with you keep to see how many times you can keep hitting the toilet rolls, right? So that's actually very interesting challenges. They can really it's entertaining. People would like to participate because during the pandemic, a lot of countries shut down. Even in the United States, like a lot of states shut down. So people stay at home, have nothing to do. Having this interesting thing can really reduce people's anxieties, right? It's actually interesting. Second pretty good example, I would say Stephen Curry. He has a great conversation with Dr. Fauci about pandemics when the pandemic started back to March, because people have different understanding about pandemic at that time when the COVID-19 outbroke in the United States. People thought, "Whoa, what's the big deal? I have never heard about any of the virus in my life. It shouldn't be an issue." And so whether should people wearing the mask in the public is also a big discussion. What should they do? People have never experienced these things before in their lives, so they say that's not a big deal. So they have a lot of misinformation. I think this misinformation caused by a lot of different reasons. Media, like if you watch CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC, these four media platform basically indicate how serious that we are facing right now, how we handle that, address these issues. But Fox is completely give you wrong informations. really confuse general public. If you consume different media, know nothing about it, you passively were really confused about this information. So I think Stephen Curry did a fantastic job. He's really powerful, have great influence in the general publics, and also is a trustworthy figures, right? So he invite the most well-known scientists in the country, Dr. Fauci, and try to give people more idea, what is COVID-19, how should we do in order to stop this outbreak. So I think that was a very successful conversation. A lot of people watch it. Maybe you did not participate it, but you were able to watch some of the videos from social media. So I think that was a great example. Social media give the athlete opportunity to show their role as a role model in the society. So Stephen Curry should tell you he's not just an athlete. He care about you. He care about social issue. He want to use social media and his power to show his figures here. Right. So how can we try to avoid this kind of like a mistake we talked about previously? Right. So there are multiple different things we should do. First thing is we need to manage the access of the account. A lot of time we have more than one account. Right. I have two Twitter account. One for just sharing my opinion stories. Another one I use for research purpose. So sometimes I accidentally post the wrong messenger to the wrong account. So you find out a lot of athletes would say, "Oh, my account was stolen by someone, so the wrong messenger did not send out the wrong messages previously." So first of all, we need to manage the access to the account, know who actually has access to the account, change the password frequently, have a clear written rule, and what can and what cannot be discussed on the social media platform, right? And also try to keep your personal and official account separate, since you have a lot of different accounts, so try to keep them separate. And when we send out something improper, make sure we have the right to delete, and also try to adjust this issue immediately before it go very big. Right, so this is about social media marketing. We talk a lot about social media marketing. We just talk a little bit about other things. Right, official site is also a pretty good digital media nowadays. All professional sports league, team athletes, a lot of time they have their official website. Why are they having their official website? Provide more information, right? Information about players, rewards, results, schedules, and some other things. They can facilitate distribution. A lot of people are using social media to sell tickets. Teams using social media to sell tickets, sell merchandise products, right? Can really enhance customers' relationship management. And also, we talk about we're living in a big data area. We're able to obey this big data, this information database. And of course, it's revenue generation. We talk about it's become a great platform. We can sell merchandise and sell tickets. We can also sell advertising spaces to the sponsors, right? So official website is also a big one. So we talk about email marketing, talk about social media marketing, talk about official website. What other new strategy have you identified? Of course, app, right? A lot of sports apps available, giving people the opportunity to, to follow multiple different games. And also during the COVID, people can't go to the public gyms. You have to work out at home. So a lot of different apps can really help you, to work out at home, and then you're not feeling lonely, right? And also VR is a big new things. VR is they try to enhance your watching experience. When you're watching the game at home, you can have the same feeling when you're watching inside the stadiums. So VR is also new technology, but currently the VR hasn't been developed to the level that we want them to, play their role in the sports marketing. It would be interesting to see whether with the advancements of these technologies in the future, we are able to really feel like we're watching the real games, but we're at home, right? So those are the new strategy has been utilized in sports marketing. Okay, that's it for today's class. We talk about email marketing, we talk about social media marketing, mainly talk about social media marketing, and also talk about official website and some other interesting strategy. If you find out some interesting strategy has been utilized by sports marketer, you can also let me know. All right, that's it for these lectures. I hope you have wonderful weeks. I will see you guys next time.